I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a weird situation what I'm watching the Lakers do because okay, so they invested. They got what's his name?
Luka.
Luka. Yeah, they got Luka Doncic. Now that we just re-signed Austin Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
They signed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar like from a 10-day contract. Like, so from Robbie Avila from the Sloop.
Oh yeah.
They picked him up
that.
too. So it's like, man, the Lakers are starting to look like like the all-white team out here in the NBA right now. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know if they're going to move on from LeBron. I know them regardless of what they do, like with LeBron going forward, they're going to have to. I mean, he's going to have to. They're going to have to get size.
Right.
Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this edition of Bets and Buds. We're the Buds help you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Like.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So we're in the dog days of summer. This is official dog days. We have an NBA champion. We have an NHL champion. And so then we got baseball basically going on right now. Thank God we got a little extra World Cup action here to throw out there. So, the hockey draft just ended. The NBA draft just ended. So we're staring down baseball, brother, until about the end of July. We got about 5 weeks.
6 weeks, 6 weeks.
5 weeks before we got NFL training camp report. So we'll at least have that news coming out of training camp to start off the season. So it has been. There's still a couple free agents that are still moving around out there. I mean, you got Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill. What's the other? Brandon Ayuk. We'll see what crazy saga that's got going on.
He
seems to be kind of
wacky. He's lost his
mind. Yeah, he seems
to
be a little bit unhinged. Kind of costing himself some NFL money. But that's neither here nor there. That's Brandon Ayuk problem. So let's go ahead and dive into right now. Get into the Blues. We just had the draft here.
All right. Yes, the Blues draft is complete. Well, I don't know. They might be running like the 6th and 7th round today. I don't know. Nobody pays attention to those.
Yeah.
But the big news, with 4 draft picks in the first round, they managed to keep 2 of them, trade 2 away, and we're bringing in Mason McTavish. I mean, young kid, he's still only 23 years old. He's been in the league three and a half seasons already, so he started young.
3rd overall pick, so maybe
he was the 3rd overall pick. But to me, it's definitely a downgrade. Like, because you knew, as much as we didn't enjoy Kyrie's game around here, obviously, in St. Louis.
Yeah, right.
You knew what you were going to get. 20 goals, 30 to 40 assists.
He seemed to be still more skilled than Mason Mitchell, but at least you got from under that big salary that Jordan Kyrie was bringing to the table.
Well, you actually save $1.5 million on that deal because McTavish is making $7 million, and you've got him locked up for the next 5 years.
Right.
So
hopefully, if he comes and hits his stride and finds his way here.
So with the 11th pick, the Blues take Tynan Lawrence, a 17-year-old kid. He's 6'1", 185. Like, he's the legit center out of the 2 kids that they drafted this weekend. But, he is 17 years old, so you're looking 3-4 years down the line before you see anything from him, because he is in college right now. And then they traded away 15 and 29 for McTavish. And kept number 16, and they drafted Maddox Dagenais. I guess maybe that's
I think that's something like that.
Dagenais. He's actually the son of a former NHLer. His dad played in the NHL.
That sounds good.
This kid's big, 6'4", 196
pounds.
Big son of a bitch. And when you look at his highlights, it's just human wrecking ball type shit. So
he seems to be the thumper of the front wingman.
He does. And then in day 2, they flipped 2 third-round picks to Toronto for Brandon Carlo. And everybody knows Brandon Carlo was on the Boston Bruins team that we beat in the Stanley Cup Finals. He doesn't put up a lot of points, but he's a steady defensive presence. You're with us trading away Justin Falk last year. You obviously were going to have to bring in.
Yeah, had to get a replacement there.
Another, like, he's a veteran. He's been in the league like 10 years now.
Right. So as long as you get somebody to get some solid D play.
He's 29 years old. This is the last year of his deal. So if you don't like him, you just don't re-sign him.
Exactly. A couple 3rd round picks. I mean, those are guys that typically
you might get something out of them.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, those guys are long shots in the NHL. At least.
So the other trade was Kyrou going to Washington, and obviously we got that 15th pick that we used to trade for McTavish. But we got a center coming back, McMichael, and he just completed his 3rd season, and he scored 14 last year with like 28 assists. Basically the same thing McTavish just did. Right. So you got rid of Kyrou. You're bringing in 2. Actually, McMichael can play the wing. He can play center. We'll see. I mean, he's another young kid.
Yeah, I mean,
like the Blues have like 12 or 14 guys in the pipeline that are under the age of 23 right now.
So, I mean,
should be cracking the lineup.
I mean, like hopefully these guys start to hit their stride all together. Being around that same age range, I mean, usually good for team camaraderie too as well. So
like as far as I think that's probably it on the Blues like big trade front, anything like that. Now I could see us bringing in like a Jaden Schwartz, veteran presence on the wing, somebody that's played in St. Louis before. He is 36 years old. I mean, it's not like you're bringing him and put him on the top 6.
Right. I mean, but I'd take Jaden Schwartz on the 3rd and 4th line.
Oh, definitely.
Sure.
He can still he put up 40-something points for the Kraken last year, so he's still got a little game left.
Right. All right, so that's our Let's Go Blues moment for the show here. All right, so we're going to dive into the Cardinals a little bit. We're kind of mid-season stretch, about to hit a break here.
They're scuffling right now.
Yeah, they're scuffling. The pitching is struggling right now. They're really trying to figure out what to do with Matthew Liberatore. I mean, I kind of said it from the beginning of the season. He's never really impressed me as a starter. His numbers trend better in the bullpen. His strikeout rate's even better coming out of the bullpen.
Yep.
I think once with his stuff, once he goes to the second time in the lineup, it's just kind of like, all right.
Sometimes he can't even get to.
Yeah, he can't even get through the second time. But I mean, the word out on him is that you can just either whether he tips pitches but his stuff just isn't good enough to kind of continue to fool guys once they kind of get a beat on what he's doing on the mound.
I mean, because he's not a hard thrower either.
No, I mean, nobody on the Cardinals really is.
He's not really a pinpoint guy, I wouldn't say either. He's not Maddox, and he's definitely not Johnson.
Right, and now with the ABS, I mean, it's hard to beat those guys anyway because they got a lot of benefit for the doubt strikes back in the day. That you can challenge, and you can challenge those things now. So. And right now the bullpen's kind of been in flux, which has been like the whole season, but at least Riley O'Brien was looking solid at first. Now he's looked shaky his last few outings.
Graceffo's taken a step back in the last couple of weeks.
And I think some of that is just even overuse because you've only got so many effective
You've only got 4 guys coming out of that bullpen
that are really effective.
That you would trust to do anything.
Exactly.
And you don't even really trust them, as you've seen lately.
Right, because the overuse it leads to overexposure, which leads to usually guys kind of getting a feel for what you're doing on the mound.
Yeah, they're 3-7 in their last 10. I mean, if you go back over like their last 20, it's still like they're like 6-14, something like that.
And the Brewers are rolling, man. I mean, the pitching staff looks amazing. Their lineup has been. I mean, they're just killing it.
As of this morning, they're 8 games back of the Brewers. They've fallen out of the wild card spots.
Yeah.
So
I mean, 42-38. But I mean, this team's ahead of schedule for what they've been doing so far, anyway. So as long as we just see them kind of hold serve, I think, for the rest of the season.
Now, before the last 2 games they had a 23% chance to make the playoffs as of 2 days ago. I'm sure with 2 more losses, it's probably down to about 20 now.
Right, if not lower than that.
Yeah, if not lower. Now, what's crazy is 3 guys basically are carrying all the weight for this offense right now because it's Herrera, Walker, Burleson.
Right.
And, I mean, you're getting contributions from Weatherholt.
Yeah, Weatherholt because he's been a good on-base guy. So, yes. I mean, that's the thing, being a leadoff guy getting on base the way he is.
But if Herrera leads the team in 4 separate categories. Walker leads the team in 6 other categories. Burleson leads the team in doubles, and he's creeping up there in batting average. Walker... He's still getting it done. Yeah. It's just the power's kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, and you're just going to go through stretches like that, but I'd rather him still keep hitting keeping that average up there.
Yeah, he's still hitting 290.
Yeah, so I'd rather him keep that average up there than kind of going hitting for swinging for the fences. I mean, they've actually hit more home runs than they were by a long shot than what they were projected to.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Because they were like kind of scheduled, like projected to be towards the bottom of the league in home runs and power, but they're actually probably middle to top half of the league in power.
Well, you're probably getting more home runs than you initially would have thought out of Weatherholt.
Oh, yeah.
I could see him being a 15 guy, but he's already at 12.
Right.
And we're just now getting close to the break.
Yeah,
today will be game 81. They'll be halfway through the schedule.
Right, halfway through the season right now. So, like I said, that's what I said. We're at that midway point, and we kind of know what this team is. I mean, I really don't see them, like some fans want to see them go all in and as far as trying to make the playoff squad, but this is not the year for that. Like I said, they're a year ahead or early from what they want to do. I say stay the course. You got a lot of young talent down in the minors too as well. Maybe even start bringing some of those guys up to see if they can get through a big league lineup, some of the pitchers down there, and see what you got with some of these guys and see if they can get through the lineup two or three times.
Well, I think the kid, the Dobson, isn't it Dobbs or Dobson?
Yeah, I think it's 100 Dobson or something like that.
Something like
Dobbins, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
He's kind of been taking a spot start every once in a while, and I think he actually just pull Liberatore out and stick him in the bull.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're getting less than 5 innings an outing
consistently from him. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, you might as well stick him in the bullpen and let him be a long reliever. Yep. So. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much like I said. Dog days of summer here with Cardinals baseball. We'll touch on that here or there. I said, looking forward to the training camp news coming around the corner here.
Yeah, do not make a move, Cardinals. Just you knew what this team was going to be. It's actually a little better than what we thought.
If anything, move some of those pieces like Lars Nootbaar and even Dustin May. I mean, if you can get some things for those guys right now, because you're in the season going nowhere. They're not nowhere of any significant contention.
Yeah, even if you did make the playoffs, it's one and done.
Right,
probably.
Pretty much, more than likely. So, I mean, anything can happen in baseball, but I mean, you really want to gamble on your future for the program, and for a shot at maybe one round that you make it through the playoffs. All right, so the NBA Association came through their offseason now. So, I mean, I'm not going to really touch on the draft because not many people know these drafted players really anyway, because most of the ones that are at the top of the draft are either one and done or they've been foreign players. So, not really going to touch on me. AJ Deboncha. He was the number one overall pick, went to the Wizards. He was kind of projected to be that number one. Darren Peterson out of Kansas, he went to...
was there any surprises?
I mean, there's always the little curveballs here or there. I think with the one of the picks there, the Nets passed on the kid Acuff, the point guard out of Arkansas, who really turned it on, got a lot of Allen Iverson comparisons, and they passed on him for another kid who's got supposedly a good scorer, but I don't think as skilled as what Acuff was.
Gotcha.
But you got the big trades where LaMelo Ball got traded to the T-Wolves for Naz Reid. I think a couple draft picks compensation was there, but that was the main key pieces to that trade there. So we'll see. That's going to be interesting pairing with him and Ant-Man back there. Anthony Edwards being in the backcourt. That's going to be.
Didn't he come out and say, "Sign me long term, and then I'll win the championship"?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like so. But this is the first full season LaMelo was really truly healthy. He hit 270-something threes last season.
He was good this year.
He was good. He was solid. The Hornets actually made some strides when they got into the play-in part of the tournament.
Yep.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what that backcourt is. The problem is they're going to need some size now because now the only thing they got up front really is Rudy Gobert with getting rid of some of that front court play. Then we had the big trade of the summer was Giannis Antetokounmpo. He got traded to the Miami Heat, got out of Milwaukee here. Him and Bobby Portis Jr. For Tyler Hero. I think it was Jaime Yaquez, I think is how you pronounce his name.
4 or 5.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 guys that were kind of role players that they kind of got off of that team, and then plus several first-round draft picks there. So Milwaukee got a haul for Giannis. I don't really see how this is going to help the Heat right now because he said he wanted to go to the contender. I mean, Pat Riley knows what he's doing down there. But unless he can work something where they get maybe work something to get Ja Morant, because I hear Memphis is out on him, and they get work Ja Morant, Giannis, and because they're going to probably lose Norm Powell, who's their 2-guard.
Okay.
So they're going to probably end up losing him because he's going to be a restricted free agent here, and I don't think they're going to have the cap to bring him back. But if they can find some way to work salary cap wise and maybe bring in a Ja Morant to play with Giannis and Bam Adebayo. I mean, that'd be a pretty lethal combination.
I mean, he did say that he wants to win championships. And, Riley might pull it off and get it done. But I think he just wanted to get out of Milwaukee.
I think he wanted to get out of Milwaukee for sure. But, I mean, he's going to have a rude awakening because, I mean, Riley already put a firm foot down and said, I'm not signing any of your brothers, dude.
Okay.
They're not, he did. He said they are not NBA players.
I was going to ask you that. If they were coming along with
and Pat Riley doesn't play, man. Nothing moves on South Beach without Riley knowing what having his hands
your
on
brothers.
Yeah, that's what they came out and said. He said, I am not signing any of your brothers. They're not NBA players in my book. So
that's funny.
Those are some of the big blockbuster moves for the association. Then the last thing we got to cover here, because I mean, really.
There was one more thing. There was a kid from St. Louis drafted. Number 26, Terrace Reed.
Was it Terrace Reed?
I
thought there was another kid too that went to Liberty. There was another kid. I think he went number 7 or 8. He went to Liberty. I thought.
Okay. Well, this the only reason I even know this is because I work with his uncle over at the airport.
Okay, nice.
And so it was a big deal for the Reed family.
Nice.
In St. Louis this week. He's going to go down. He's he's like 6'10". He's a true center, and he's going to go down there and probably twin tower it up with Wemby.
Yeah, there's a couple kids came out of St. Louis, I think, this year. I mean, I want to say they had like 5 to 7 kids somewhere in that number that as a whole got drafted out of this area this year.
Well, that's the only one that I was aware of.
There was another kid I think that went to Liberty High School. It's like something Bobby Saritz or something like that. That was his name. Nice. Like I said again, nobody knows these players because they're one and done in the schools. So they rotate around outside of family members and shit like that. So unless you're like a true college basketball,
true baller fan,
unless you're a true college basketball fan, which I definitely won't do that. I just got back into my NBA watching. And you that follow the show know why, because until LeBron is gone.
Do you think he leaves?
I don't know, man. it's weird. It's a weird situation what I'm watching the Lakers do because okay, so they invested. They got what's his name?
Luka.
Yeah, they got Luka Doncic. Now that we just re-signed Austin Reeves. They signed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar like from a 10-day contract. Like, so from Robbie Avila from the Slow.
Oh yeah,
they picked him up
that.
too. So it's like, man, the Lakers are starting to look like like the all-white team out here in the NBA right now. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know if they're going to move on from LeBron. I know them regardless of what they do, like with LeBron going forward, they're going to have to. I mean, he's going to have to. They're going to have to get size.
Right.
They're going to have to get size. And so I mean, I think LeBron is probably going to end up moving on. If I would have to, because I think he's not going to take a pay cut. The Lakers right now, as of now, have $50 million still to kind of play with there, but. Do they invest in that in an old LeBron? Or we saw what that team is already.
2 or 3 different.
Yeah, bring in a couple different big men that you can see they kind of have a little bit more effect on your roster there, and they kind of pass the keys over to Luka and Austin Reeves and just kind of go from there. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, we're a long ways away. I mean, although like summer ball will be starting up here quickly. So with
I guess them being predominantly called the Glow Time Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, man. This is. It's definitely one of the whitest Lakers teams I've seen ever.
That's funny.
I'm not mad at it, but I just haven't seen that in any of my years of Laker fandom. But
you gotta go back to the '80s to even find them.
Yeah, I mean, shit, Jerry West days, like probably that before they died, because not even the '80s.
Oh yeah,
the '80s was all type of brothers on that team, man. It was
probably the late '60s.
It was just it was like when Jerry West heyday. That's probably the last time you probably look at a Laker team looking like this, but. Let's see what I mean. They're professional basketball players with skill, so who cares what color they are? Those they can bring some titles, at least be title contention back to LA.
Okay, before we move on to World Cup, what about this Terrian Arnold situation?
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, like, this is one of those situations where I guess the kid felt disrespected somehow. It was something that got stolen from him.
It got stolen from him, and I guess he
he basically got some goons that he knew to kind of go in and bum rush these people.
Like the OJ type of shit.
Yeah, kind of bum rush these people, but come to find out, these weren't even the people that took the stuff out of the Airbnb, shit. Man. So, wow. I mean, it's like, and now his boys are ready to flip state evidence on him. So, I mean, he's probably done in the NFL. I mean, that's just
because it's kidnapping and all kinds of crazy charges.
I mean, it's kidnapping, burglary, like all types of stuff going on. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, like sometimes that's where you have to have somebody when you get to that situation and you're of success. There has to be somebody that you can speak to, like whether you're Ja Morant, whether you're Terrion Arnold, any of these young players. There has to be somebody that has your ear that'd be voice of reason to go, nah, man, we're not gonna fuck this. Like there used to be a time, like me and my boy Keenan, we would go out like when we were in our 20s and stuff like that, and we'd always say, we pretty much were usually pretty much straight. If he and I were both together, one of us would always be the voice of reason. Like when one of us would start wilding out a little bit, had a little too much to drink, and get your testosterone was flowing a little bit too much.
Dial it back in.
Like I remember there was one time I was down on the landing, and I was sitting there. It was ladies' night. And I wasn't having any luck with anything going on that night. I was like, this is bullshit. So I'm sitting out and waiting outside for all the boys to come out. All of a sudden, I see this brawl break out down there, like prime area of the landing. It's like a big brawl. And I don't know if you remember the movie Cannonball Run, but how they'd always have those big brawl scenes towards the end of the movie. That's what it looked like to me in my head as I'm sitting there. So I walk my ass down there, and I'm like kind of standing, towering over everybody. I'm like in the middle of it, just waiting for something. I was like, I'm not going to hit anybody, but I'm going to see if somebody hits me. And so I go in there. I'm like standing there looking. Next thing I hear, Jado, get out of there, man. It was Keenan. Like, snapped me out of it. Like, to keep from doing something stupid. Because I was about to get in the brawl and shit that had nothing to do with me. Just because I was bored. Just because I was frustrated. Because I wasn't getting any tail at night. And just, stupid shit. So, you got to have, like, when you're young and in those ages, you got to have somebody who's got some sense that's around you to go, nah, man, I get it. That sucks. We're pissed off. But that's not the way to go about it. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, because, like you said, his NFL career is probably over. He's looking
over $100,000.
Looking at legit jail time. And,
so at the end of the day, you know what the easiest solution is to that? Like for that type of situation? Insure your shit.
Yeah, insure it, or just don't carry around $100,000 in cash.
Well, I don't think it was that. It was something in his Airbnb property that they had supposedly stolen out of there. But then he accused the wrong people of stealing and beat up and intimidated the wrong people.
That's wild.
So, again, I mean, it's just, that young and dumb. We've all been there in life, man. But, I mean, when you get to that elevated position in life, you got to remember, like, is this shit really worth it? Sometimes it's like Dave Chappelle had a skit, keeping it real gone wrong.
Yeah, keeping it real gone wrong.
like there's a such thing as keeping it real goes wrong, especially this day and age, man. You can't get, because you're not gonna get away with shit.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're not gonna get away with shit, man. You just can't. There's no way. There's just too much camera evidence. There's too much backup stuff, and now with the feds, they're not playing with that stuff. So you get the feds involved. They're going to get, I don't care how close of friends you are, they're going to flip on you in a heartbeat, because that's just how they're going to do it.
because they're looking at legit jail time, too.
Because Terry and Arnold, even though those guys are the ones that did it, he's the big fish, because he's the one that has the name. He's the one that has the celebrity stats. He's the one that the FBI gets some credit for saying, look, we took this NFL monster down who was trying to be a kingpin off the field. So, that's always going to be what happens. So, unfortunately, Terry and Arnold, hopefully this isn't the way it went down, but if it did, T's and P's, brother.
Sorry, brother.
Get used to that jumpsuit. Get used to that jumpsuit. All right, so we got the World Cup here. We finally made it to the knockout round here. I think it starts this week coming up here. So we got some interesting matchups. I put together a little parlay just to see what would happen. On FanDuel, if you picked all the favorites to win, just on the money line, what they're favored by, it'd be plus 70, 71, 71. Now, I hesitate to say that I would do that because there's a couple of underdogs here that I think are going to go through this. Now, I'm not a huge soccer head, so I'll kind of roll and fly through my picks on this here. But we got Canada, South Africa versus Canada. So Canada is plus 290 favorites there. So plus 290 is what I have through FanDuel there. I like Canada to go ahead and go along on that game there.
I would go Canada. I actually do have Canada in that game. I've got Canada, Jonathan David with 3 shots on goal, and the over 2.5 plus 338.
Nice. So, I like that. Next up, we got Brazil versus Japan. So I like Brazil in this matchup. I think everybody pretty much is going to go with Brazil in that because they're one of the powerhouses always usually are. They're at minus 320 as favorites over Japan.
But don't be surprised if this one has to go into the kickoff.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised because Japan is a very tough, scrappy team.
They are.
And they know how to play that keep-away game, too, with the ball if they have to. All right, and next up we got Germany versus Paraguay.
Now, Germany all day.
Yeah, Germany has looked like studs through the whole tournament. I really have not had anybody threaten them whatsoever.
No. And it won't be Paraguay.
No, it's definitely not going to be Paraguay. They're minus 850 favorites on there. Give me Germany to go and move along to the next round. All right, next up we got the Netherlands at Morocco. Versus Morocco. The Netherlands versus Morocco. Now, this is a game here I think that could be dangerous here. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Netherlands are favored minus 172.
Yeah, I got 170.
Yep, so minus 172 here. That means Morocco's only plus 140 underdogs here right there. That's not really a big stretch. It's another one of those games that I could see going to a kickoff, shootout at the end of the game. So, I mean, that's going to be a tight one there, but I'm going to still say the Netherlands are going to pull this one out at minus 172.
Okay.
All right, now this is probably one of the interesting matchups here for me because I kind of went back and forth on this one. So Norway has been like just kind of a force in the first pool play here, but now we're getting into the knockout round and really after was it Hanlon? Yeah, he's their big stud, big Viking looking son of a bitch.
He's pretty much their only scorer right now.
He's tough. So if you take him out of the game and Ivory Coast finds a way to neutralize him, I can see the Ivory Coast pulling off an upset. So give me the Ivory Coast at plus 156 underdogs there to pull that one off there. All right. So next up we got France versus Sweden.
Yeah, France is going to dominate.
France is going to dog walk this game here. So they're minus 1,100 to win this game.
That's great.
Yeah, minus 1,100. I mean, but France has actually played some games that were a lot tighter than what they should have, though. But I mean, once we get into this round, I mean, this is when the guys.
They got a hat trick out of Dahlin, and he's not even their number one striker.
He's not even the number one scorer because you got what's his name, Mbappe. Mbappe. Because he's I think he has 4 goals right now in the World Cup, and then Deline, however you say it, he's got 4 goals too as well because he had 2 in their last game. All right, so then we got Mexico versus Ecuador. This is another game right here that I can see being a tricky one here. I can see this one going to the shootout, and Ecuador maybe trying to find a way to pull that out. They're only plus 138 underdogs on that. So don't be surprised.
See, this one's wild to me because, it's still in Mexico. So this is going to be heavily.
It would be.
But it is 2 Latin American countries.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. You got Ecuador, who, that's not like it's going to be.
right down the road.
Yeah, that's a hop, skip, and a jump there for their fan base if anybody has the means to make it up there and do so. So I don't see that really being an issue. And weather-wise, there's not going to be any advantage there.
True.
As well, because right now, when you're seeing how it's getting hot and humid like this, you're going to see some of these European teams maybe start to lag a little bit because they're not accustomed to playing in this type of heat. All right, now we got England versus Dominican Republic of Congo. So that's at minus 950 for England.
Yeah, I got minus 1100.
You got a minus 1100?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was 950 is what I saw this morning in the FanDuel. But, I mean, you're going to see a wide range of that because England pretty much is going to probably dominate that game. So, give me England to go ahead and take that one. Next up, we have the Belgium versus Senegal. This is another one here that I think could be a very dicey one here. The Senegal is only plus 140 underdogs here.
And they played well.
They played well, and they run around. They're a very athletic, fast club, too, as well. So I would not be surprised if you see Senegal knock off Belgium. So I got Senegal knocking off Belgium there. All right, so next up we got the home country boys here, USA versus Bosnia. USA versus Bosnia. So, yeah, so we got this going here. This is the best the U.S. has looked so far. They kind of get later.
Well, that Turkey game, you throw that one out the window. They had 5 substitutes on.
Yeah,
they started their backup goalkeeper.
Right.
So.
Exactly. So I mean, that didn't mean a whole lot because what they were trying to avoid was any of the guys that got yellow cards to get any yellow cards where they have to sit out for the knockout round here. So and I think Pulisic had another week to sit and get that calf healthy. So I think he's going to be ready for the knockout round as well.
Yeah, U.S. should win this.
So they're minus 800 favorites here. So the U.S. I think should win this against Bosnia, but the Bosnians don't ever lay down for anybody though. No. So it will be a tough matchup.
I see like 2-1.
Yeah, I can see a 2-1 matchup there. All right, next up we got Spain versus Austria. Spain is minus 1,200 favorites is what I got here.
Spain has looked mean.
Yeah, they look mean, but they've also kind of had some lack of scoring though too as well.
They did in that first game against Capo Verde.
Yeah, Capo Verde, but I think there wasn't another game that they tied or like it was a low score.
Well, in that second game they blew them out like 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1 in the second game, but I thought the third game that they played was not that high scoring game, and they maybe edged that out. I couldn't remember. But either way, they're minus 1,200 against Austria. I don't see Spain.
Yeah, I don't see Austria beating Spain.
Spain is pretty loaded. I don't see that being. I mean, they're one of the favorites to win the whole cup, so I don't see Austria being able to pull that out. They played a tough one the other day where they tied against Algeria, so I don't see that being a tough game for Spain. Then we got Portugal versus Croatia. Portugal now. So this is another interesting game here because Cristiano Ronaldo has not had a great track record in the World Cup.
Not really.
And the team really kind of leans on him more than anything else to kind of score. And he's the oldest player in the World Cup right now too, as well at 41 years old, I think is what it is. I can see Croatia. I can see this end up going to extra time easy in this one right here.
I actually would like Croatia in this game. I think Croatia's just tenacious. They're a tenacious team. They got me a win last night. Woo, go Croatia! So.
Yeah, see, like I'm gonna pick Portugal to win in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Croatia not only plays them tight, but maybe pulls out somehow they goes a shootout or something like that, and Portugal chokes it away.
Yeah, I hit on England and Croatia last night.
Nice,
2-pick parlay.
Nice. All right, so then we got Switzerland versus Algeria. So Algeria made it through too, as well as Austria did out of that pool. That wasn't the strongest pool in the tournament so far. But Switzerland's at minus 225 favorites here. Algeria's plus 180. I still like Switzerland to win this game. I just think they're a little bit too deep for Algeria. Algeria's a kind of small country where you don't have a huge population. Not that Switzerland's overly populated, but I just kind of see that one being a tough one. All right, next we had Australia versus Egypt. Now, this is going to be a tough game right now.
Yeah, this is almost a toss-up.
Yeah, in my opinion, this could have been a pick-em, like really. But, I mean, Egypt was minus 140 favorites here. Australia's at plus 114 as dogs. So, I mean, I can see this go either way. This could be a tight matchup. Probably definitely go into extra time. Maybe even it'd be a shootout game there. But go ahead.
Yeah, in the end, Egypt should win this game.
Egypt should win this game, but you know what? I'm going to lean towards the Aussies here. Okay. I'm going to lean towards the Aussies to go ahead and pull that one out, some type of late miracle. All right, then we got Argentina versus Cinderella of the tournament, Capo Verde.
Yeah, their goaltender's really going to be put to the test in this one.
Yeah, Argentina is minus 2,500. Messi has been unconscious, but he's got 7 goals so far in the tournament. I mean, he's just been going crazy.
He came in off the bench.
Yeah, came in off the bench and like put like that kickoff. It was ridiculous. You saw the way he did it too. Like that's how smart he is. That he's a lefty, and so he kicked it up through the side where the goalie was totally screened and kicked it right on the other outside of his two players.
He is amazing.
He is absolutely amazing. So give me Argentina going away hands down at minus 2,500 as favorites on that. All right, then the last game is Colombia versus Ghana. Colombia versus Ghana.
Ghana's been a decent story.
Ghana has been a decent story, but I think that's But I think it ends now. I think Colombia's minus 480. I think they're just going to be a bit too much for Ghana. They're just a little bit too loaded as far as just depth as a soccer club.
Yeah, so we only got the one game today, and then 3 Monday, and then that game, actually, the Colombia-Ghana game is the last one of the knockout stage. Ends on Friday. Yeah. So, like, all week.
It's going to be all week. Soccer all week long. Thank God I got a little something. At least the tournament's been somewhat exciting this year, too. So
yeah.
Help get us through some of these dog days until you guys know what we're waiting on, that NFL season, baby.
USA plays Wednesday.
Yep. NFL season and college football season. College football's got we're within like 60 days of college football starting up. So it's coming here really soon. So that's all I got for this week here.
Yes, sir.
It's hot as shit outside, and I'm going to find a way to stay cool today. So shout out to Director Dave for keeping us up on the 1 and 2s. Shout out to Troy the Track for blessing with those beats. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Add to the comment section. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
See you next week.
Peace.